Hi, everybody. Kara here to give you some guidance on how to find what are the acceptable sources for regular text when you get to that part of your lessons with your student. So regular text for us meaning by grade level, right? And how to access those if you don't already have access through your school district in some way. So first, let me just go back actually to here and tell you that there are some unacceptable sources for regular text. Those would be things like Easy CBM website or Reading A to Z or Raz Kids, or really, I mean, I could probably list several more. Those are the ones that come to mind that those are not acceptable sources for your practicum for quote unquote regular text. When we're talking about regular text that is at a certain grade level, not like a letter name, A, B, C, D, E, F, G leveled, right? That's not regular text for our purposes. It has to be essentially what we're looking for is equivalent passages. So now on to the acceptable sources, right? So these places have done the work, particularly the first two, and particularly Acadians, which if you don't have access to any regular text through your district, I would go with the Acadians over anything else. But what happens is these companies have standardized those grade leveled passages and field tested them and normed them and all of those things so that we are able to make decisions about students' progress, because again, we are essentially what these are for progress monitoring. Are they increasing their accuracy and most importantly, their words per minute, right? We have to do that with equivalent passages. If we keep changing the difficulty level of the passages, or they're not controlled at all by difficulty, then we can't make decisions about whether the student is getting better or not. It's like if you're going to check your blood pressure every day, you should do it at the same time with the same machine every day, right? That's going to give you the most consistency in terms of your data. So Acadians and Dibbles are again the two that I recommend. And so if you don't have access to any through your district, I would go with Acadians for sure, number one. And I'll show you how to do that. If you do have access through your district to Acadians or Dibbles or Ames Web or Read Naturally, those are two other acceptable sources, okay? And again, those are not free though. So if you have access to them through your district, then you can use either of those two sources for regular text. But if you don't, if your district doesn't already pay for those, they're not free. So you're left with Acadians or Dibbles, which actually is fine because honestly, even if you have Ames Web or Read Naturally, I still would recommend Acadians over either of those. So you can decide. But they make it pretty simple to access these. So this is, by the way, in the PowerPoint presentation about oral reading. So you have access, you will have access to this if you don't already, but you certainly could just type this in. So notice that when I go here, I'm going to, here we are at Acadians Learning. Then this is specifically Acadians Reading, okay? And then I want to go down here to Acadians Reading Assessments, and I want this one right here, Reading K to 6. So I'll click that. And I don't want to purchase materials. I want a PDF download. So I'm going to click PDF download. And then I'm going to get this Acadians Educational Use Agreement. So please read through that, understand what you are agreeing to. But then they prompt you to put in your email address, click yes, and I agree. Now you are in the download hub, okay? And you can select an Acadians product. So I'm going to select, I don't want Braille, I don't want digital, I don't want math. So just read, just as we always do, read closely. I want Acadience Reading K through 6 paper pencil administration, because that's going to allow me to download it. Okay. And then what happens over here? Oh, and so actually within that, I want the progress monitoring probes. Okay. You can see here though that you can also grab the manual, you can get the benchmark materials, but you can get large print versions. Okay. So I want the progress monitoring. So now I go to get materials. And here they are. Now you can see there's several. There's phoneme segmentation fluency, nonsense word fluency, first sound fluency. So you can use these arrows. You want ORF, you want oral reading fluency. Level 1 means grade 1. Okay, so throughout your process of figuring out what grade level your student needed should be working in, which is likely not their actual grade level. It's the grade level that you found based on the decision tree, which you'll learn how to do that. Then you go to that. So if it's, let's say you found at 3rd grade level, so you go to download PDF. And here is the here's the teacher materials. All right, for each of the progress monitoring. Now we're just doing words per minute, so I typically will just grab this page right here. We're not doing retail fluency or anything like that, so you can just grab grab this page right here. Okay. If I was you, I would save these to my computer. That's what I've done. I've just saved this entire, you can download the whole thing by clicking download and then save it to your computer. Then you just don't have to go back all the time to the, to this. And then, so notice that was the teacher materials, also called the scoring booklets. Okay. And these are the progress monitoring student materials. So this is where you also need to come. What did I do? Grade 3. And here's what the student will actually read from, right? So you can find that particular grade level, or you can download all progress monitoring files in one zip archive. So probably that's what I would do, especially if I was going to then save all of these documents to my hard drive, my computer. You certainly can do that by clicking that download right there. Okay. So that's how you find oral reading fluency probes. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of other stuff in here too. Maze probes and the ORF probes both go up to 6th grade. Okay. So feel free to explore around there. That's all free. Just a matter of you understanding how to use it. And the other one that's free is Dibbles, and that's a little bit less complicated, perhaps, to get to. Download Dibbles materials, read the educational use agreement, and confirm. Okay, and then again, you can see here, just read carefully, the benchmark materials. You want progress monitoring materials, okay? So for example, if I go to 3, this is student progress monitoring materials and scoring booklets. Actually going to pull up going to just give you a folder. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in here, right? All for 3rd grade, again, is what I downloaded. So this means Dibbles 8th edition, progress monitoring, 3rd grade, nonsense word fluency, scoring. Dibbles 8th edition, progress monitoring, 3rd grade, nonsense word fluency, student, right? So if you just decipher what those files are, you want the ORF. So then there's the scoring booklet. If you download that, okay, you can see it's similar to Acadience, but that's what the teacher looks at. And then you'd also, of course, need the student one so that you can match up. Sorry, that's still, it's still thinking. Sorry, my Adobe is having a hard time with that. Anyway, so that's what you do. Okay. It's just, again, I would encourage you to explore around on there as much as you want to find all the things that they have provided for free. But anyway, that's how you find grade leveled, right? Or regular text passages for the oral reading fluency part of your lesson. Okay, thanks.